Hey guys, how's it going? I want to talk a little bit about how do you know if you're hearing God? How do you know if you're hearing God? The way that you're going to know is through practice. For example, I've been running this machine for about 20 years. And a lot of the times I'm digging through utilities, phone lines, water lines, gas lines. But because of my practicing and experience of doing it over and over again, I can tell when I'm over the top of a water line, for example. I can tell because the soil gets loose and the machine digs a lot easier. But that never came to pass, but only through practicing. And so, that's how we're going to learn to hear the voice of God, is through practicing. And so, and it's so awesome because in learning to hear the voice of Jesus, it's not just to hear his voice. He wants to help you with everything. And so I incorporate Christ's voice in my life as I live. And so a lot of the times when I'm working and I'm digging around utilities, okay, and it can get expensive. It can cost thousands of dollars if I break phone lines and gas lines. But I rely on the Holy Spirit because it's not just me operating, it's the Spirit of God in me operating. And so as I'm working and I can tell I'm using both. I'm using natural and spiritual, and they do work together, all right? And so, the Holy Spirit is inside of us, but it needs a natural body to be in. We're the vessel. Do you see what I'm saying? They do work together. And so a lot of the times when I'm excavating, I can tell, but it's the Holy Spirit. I get this almost like it could be a voice, but most of the times through this, it's an impression. Like, you better stop and you better get off the machine and excavate by hand because there could be something there. And so I get these impressions, right? But it's using both. And sure enough, it's through practice. I'll dig, okay, and there's a pipe. Why is that? Because I've learned to hear the voice of God, okay, and to combine the two together, but it all comes through practicing. That's how we're going to know when we're hearing God. You've got to apply yourself with Jesus. You've got to make the first contact. You've got to get dialogue. Learn to get dialogue with Christ. And so a lot of the times when I start in my jobs, I ask him, Lord, help me today. Show me. Help me to see something that I cannot see. And I promise you, within 5-10 minutes, God's showing, God's pointing things out. Why? Because I'm hearing his voice. He's helping me. He wants to be a part of my everyday living. But it starts on practicing, practicing, practicing. When you go into the doctor's office, a lot of the times you'll see a sign that says, practicing medicine. What does that mean? That they're still learning. They're practicing medicine. And the same with us. We're practicing to hear the voice of God. Thank you.